She looked away before the first tear fell. Her fingers trembled as she tried to hide her pain behind a broken smile. "You'd rather be with someone younger," she whispered, her voice cracking like glass. For a second I couldn't breathe. The air between us was heavy with everything left unsaid. Years of love, years of her feeling not enough, years of me trying to prove she was everything. I took a deep breath, stepped closer, and said softly, "No, I'd rather be with you." Before we continue, if this story touches your heart even a little, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe to Whispers of Kinness. Your support helps us share more stories that remind the world. Love, in all its imperfect beauty, is worth fighting for. Who are we? The rain fell that evening like it had a purpose, as if the sky itself wanted to wash away the distance that had grown between us. Emily stood by the window, her silhouette framed against the fading light. I could see the outline of her shoulders, slightly slumped, the same way they used to when she was thinking too much. We'd been married for 13 years. 13 long, unpredictable, beautiful years that had given us everything: love, laughter, mistakes, forgiveness, and lately silence. The kind of silence that doesn't need words to hurt. I still remember the first time I saw her. She was at a bookstore, her hair tied loosely, glasses slipping down her nose as she read the last page of a novel. She laughed quietly at something in the text. The kind of laugh that didn't just fill the air, it filled your soul. I was 26 then, she was 29. That difference never mattered, not to me, but as years passed, it began to matter to her. The wrinkles that started appearing near her eyes became a mirror of her insecurities. The way she'd avoid her reflection, the way she'd compare herself to the younger women at my office. It broke me, because she couldn't see what I saw. I saw the woman who held my hand when I lost my father. The woman who stayed awake nights when I worked late, just to make sure I didn't skip dinner. The woman who turned our small apartment into a home filled with warmth and music. But that night, the night she said those words, I realized how far apart we'd drifted. It started with a rumor. Someone at work, a young intern, barely 22, had been seen smiling a little too much at me. It was innocent, harmless, but gossip spreads faster than truth, and by the time it reached Emily, the story had changed a dozen times. She didn't confront me immediately. Emily was never one for drama. She just pulled away. Dinner conversations grew shorter. Her laughter disappeared. She started sleeping with her back turned to me, and I, cowardly, confused, let the distance grow because I didn't know how to reach her anymore. Then came that evening. I came home early from work, flowers in hand, determined to bridge the gap between us. But when I stepped into the living room, I froze. Emily was standing by the mirror, holding one of our wedding photos. She was staring at herself, tears glistening in her eyes, her other hand tracing the frame of the picture. Two people laughing, young, madly in love. She turned toward me, eyes full of fear and hurt. "You don't look at me the way you used to," she said. "You don't touch me like before. Do you even see me anymore, Ryan? Or do you wish I was someone younger, prettier?" Her words sliced through me. I dropped the flowers, crossed the room, and reached for her hand, but she pulled away. "Emily," I said softly, "you're the only person I've ever seen. The only one I want to see." She shook her head, crying harder. "Don't lie to me, Ryan. I see the way they look at you. Those girls at your office, they're beautiful, full of life. And I'm just..." I grabbed her face gently, forcing her to look at me. "You're everything," I whispered. "You're the reason I still believe in love. You're the heartbeat behind every choice I make. I don't want someone younger, I want you. The woman who knows my soul better than I do." She looked away, tears spilling down her cheeks. "You'd rather be with someone younger," she murmured again, almost to herself. I swallowed hard, the pain swelling in my chest. "No," I said, my voice shaking. "I'd rather be with you." We stood there, surrounded by silence and memories. The rain outside softened, as if listening. Then she broke. The dam of her emotions burst, and she collapsed against me, sobbing into my chest. I held her tightly, feeling her pain seep into me, a pain I had ignored for too long. We didn't talk much after that. Words would have ruined the purity of the moment. I just held her, kissed her forehead, and let her cry until the storm outside turned into quiet drizzle. That night, we didn't make promises. We made something better, an understanding. The next few weeks weren't perfect. Healing never is. But Emily started smiling again. She began painting, something she'd given up years ago. I'd come home to find her splattered in color, a faint tune playing in the background, the smell of turpentine filling the air. Her art was full of emotion, messy, beautiful, alive. I started leaving little notes for her, simple ones. You look beautiful today. Thank you for loving me, even when I didn't deserve it. You are my favorite story. And slowly she started believing me again. We went on walks. We laughed. We rebuilt what was broken. Not by pretending everything was fine, but by accepting that love isn't perfect. It's about staying when it's hard, choosing each other again and again, even when doubts whisper louder than hope. Then came our anniversary. I planned a surprise. I took her back to that bookstore where we first met. The place hadn't changed much. The old wooden shelves still smelled of paper and dreams. As we walked in, she gasped softly. On one of the shelves sat a new painting, her painting. The owner had agreed to display it. It was titled, "I'd Rather Be With You." She turned to me, her eyes glistening with tears. "You did this," I nodded, smiling. "It's the truth, Emily. I'll say it 1,000 times if I have to." She looked up at the painting. Two figures standing in the rain, holding each other, the world blurred behind them. "You really mean it," she whispered. "I always have," I said, and that time she didn't look away. TCUCTA, if you followed this story this far, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Did Emily's journey remind you of someone you love? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness for more stories that celebrate love, compassion, and second chances. 2E Indian G message. Love isn't about the years that pass or the wrinkles that form. It isn't about youth or beauty. It's about choosing someone over and over, even when the world gives you reasons not to. Because sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say isn't, "I love you," but, "I'd rather be with you." And when you find someone worth saying that to, never let them go.